Date for unvaccinated international travel, focusing on the USA, and today is the 6th of November 2022. So we don't have the good news yet that unvaccinated people can travel to the USA. Unfortunately, that's not what this video is about. But this new guidance has come out this week, just to give a bit of clarity. So this is from the Transportation Security Administration. I saw this on Twitter, but then I went to this website, tsa.gov, and it is a real website. This document is on there. It's a 5-page document, and this is just the summary page at the start. So it says that this supersedes all previous COVID guidance, and it runs from November 9th to January 8th, 2023, effectively banning unvaccinated non-USA citizens from entering the country. So that's where we're at. You never know when we get to that date. They may extend it. They may drop it beforehand. Who knows? I'm following it, so I'll give you any further updates as they arrive. Okay, so the rest of this video is just me talking about a little bit more about this and then a few other countries' updates as well. But that is the main news today. All right, so this story was in the Daily Mail after that document was released. Obviously, the writer is very much on our side of the argument. America will still demand proof of COVID vaccination to enter the country in 2023, even though it's just the first 8 days, making it the only country in the West. And this is just a summary of what the article talks about. Here it says it directly contradicts CDC documents treating unV'd and V'd the same. Apparently that is from August this year. I haven't seen the documents, but I have read about them. Okay, so this is just a few clips from the article. Here, US is the only country in the West to stick by this failing policy. On the next page, what I found interesting here was we've got this medical expert saying that the V does not prevent transmission anymore. If it ever did, I don't know. And then here it talks about most other Western countries have dropped these recommendations. What I like is this list, which is the sort of thing I've been looking for. These are the only countries now where you need to be vaccinated to enter the country. So we've got USA, China, Angola, Libya, Ghana, Cameroon, Liberia, Yemen, Indonesia, Pakistan, Azerbaijan, and Turkmenistan. So they are the ones to watch. Here in the article as well, it had this graph just demonstrating that this was the point in the COVID timeline where you had to be V'd to enter the USA. This was just about this time last year, just when the Omicron variant was taking off, and clearly stopping unV'd from entering didn't make a whole lot of difference by the looks of this graph. Okay, the article goes on to say they dropped the need for a negative COVID test in June, but will not budge on the need for the COVID Vs. Yeah, exactly. This means vaccinated people can fly even if they are testing positive for the virus. I know 2 people who came out to the UK from the USA recently. One was V'd, one wasn't. Didn't matter to enter the UK. And both as permanent residents or citizens of the US were able to just fly back and get on with things. But the likes of us can't enter. I like this quote here from Dr. William Schaffner, professor of medicine. He said that this is a puzzle that unV'd still can't enter the USA for a few reasons. First, COVID is abundant and widely transmitted in the US, so they're not protecting their population within the country. So why should that be an issue with it coming from outside? Second, the Vs are only modestly effective in preventing transmission. That's been in the news, for over a year. And it also says travel restrictions of any kind are not very effective in keeping new viruses out of a country, and COVID is no longer new. So, yes, agree with all of that. Another quote here from another expert. US is out of step with science and with the policies of other countries, and they should follow the science and rescind this policy. So that's where we're at with the USA. A few other countries, just what's going on. Spain was the last country to drop any kind of restriction within Europe to enter there. So this was only on the 21st of October. Last minute travel restrictions were lifted. No fee, no proof of anything, no forms, no testing, nothing. So that's good news for Spain. Argentina, just to look at another continent. Borders are open to, this was from an Irish website, open to all international travellers. No vaccination or testing requirements for travellers entering Argentina. They recommend you have a test within 24 hours of arriving, but it doesn't seem like that's tested at all because it just says it's recommended. Says something here about filling in an electronic sworn statement within 48 hours before travelling with proof of insurance to cover any costs. See, that alone still puts me off. It's all these little details and little forms and testing, this grey area that we still need to see dropped. Okay, and looking at some other places, Indonesia, one of the other few countries that requires you to be fully vaccinated to enter. It goes on here about needing to download this app before you leave. Nope, won't be doing that. That puts me off going. Obligation to show proof, physical and digital, of COVID V certificates for entering Indonesia. So you still have to show that. These are all the exclusions. Funny one here. If you are an important person with a diplomatic visa, this doesn't apply to you. So there you go. I had a quick look at some Asian countries as well, just in regards to transit, because I fly from the UK to Australia and often transit through Singapore. So you don't have to be vaccinated to enter Singapore, but you do need to test. So, and I think it's one of those ones you have to submit before boarding. Within 2 days before departure, take any of the following tests. So if it's positive, you wouldn't be able to fly, presumably. But I believe, I don't think I show it here, but I think to transit through Singapore, you're okay, even if you're not vaccinated. So that's where we're at, everybody. I will keep checking regularly and come back to you with any updates. Thanks for listening.